So I will be making sure that you understand by the end of this video what's journaling, how you can journal, and how we use that particular data to really leverage it on our advantage. Hello my people, it's my pleasure to have you on board, and as always, sharing these moments with you, it always means a lot, because passing the experience of what I understand and you gaining the clarity so that you can use and apply it to yourself is something that is very profoundly right. Now into today's video, I'll be touching on journaling because it's the most asked question. So I thought that I could just prepare around a topic, especially with across trading, and then maybe in near future I could touch it on life as well. So I will be making sure that you understand by the end of this video what's journaling, how you can journal, and how we use that particular data to really leverage it on our advantage. So with that being said, let me just start first by asking the question of what is journaling. Give me if you have the meaning of it in the comment section. But to my perspective and point of view, journaling refers to a practical way of writing down either your emotions, feelings, or experience. Either you can be using a journal like this one, or you can be using digital platforms like Notion. So I want to show you now in the chat work one of the traits that I took from previous week, and then breaking it down in terms of how I really start doing my process of journaling, because here I'm collecting the data of what I saw from the market standpoint, and by the end of this video I'll show you on how I normally use that particular data to do my personal reflection, because part of journaling is doing the reflection. That's the most important thing that I want you to understand, because the process within itself is nothing if you are not doing the foundation of reflecting. Now let's get into the chart. Now this is Audi USD position that I took from previous week, and I want just to show you exactly on how I truly use. So I have two screens over here, meaning that I have two parts of it. I have this particular platform that I normally use to journal with. It's a digital platform which is called Notion. So by the way, you can use it as well. And here, as you can find, there are several information that I normally use them, and I'll be giving you instruction on how as well you can use this particular platform to take your advantage on. So this is Audi USD, and I want to use this Notion template to talk you through on how I really use the process of just writing down the trade and then defining the quality of it. And by the end of this video, you can also apply it to yourself and understand clearly on what that really helps. So when I come into my Notion, this is the first part where I normally write the pair. For instance, in this example, we are using Audi USD, which is the trade that I took. And then we'll find here the direction. So it says a long or short. So in this example, I went long. So it was a long. And I took it from last week. I do believe it was maybe Monday, if I'm not mistaken. But nevertheless, I'll just use today's date for this example, right? But also, if we go back, or we can use it here as the information we have over here underneath. It was on Wednesday 25th of this last month, so we can just correct that particular data. The stop loss within the trade, so I go back over here and see the stop loss. So make sure that you just click over there, and then stop loss, you should find it down over there. So it was 13.7 as we can see. So just writing it over here, 13.7, and then the entry type, I just go normally to the screen to see was it a risk entry or a reduced risk entry. In this example, it was a risk entry, so I will write here risk entry. The quality of the trade within itself, was it a low quality or a high quality trade? For me, this was a high quality trade, so just select over there. And then when did I got out from the position? It was the next day, which was on 26. So it was probably one day. And Over here you can see the highlighted pair. Was it in my main focus or was it on my additional? It was part of my main focus, meaning that it was on my top 6 pairs. And then the result of this particular trade, it was 2.51%, which it will just write over there a win. Now, there are some questions that they normally come upon when you are doing the journaling process, and it might differ from an individual to an individual. For me, these are the most questions that I normally ask myself. There are questions that are before and there are some questions that are after. Now, the most important part in journaling, you have to be very, very honest to yourself. So when you are coming down to this part, make sure that you just be transparent and honest as much as you can. Okay? Now, here's the pre-checklist. Okay? I normally ask myself, taking this particular position, did I forecast it? The answer is yes, because in the morning, I did the morning forecasting. And if you did not forecast it, just write no. Okay. Is this the trade in my trading plan? Yes, it's one of the trades that is within my trading plan because I have continuation that I can take as a risk entry at the 30 touch. So I'll tick this box over here. And then the other question that I normally ask myself is, can I afford to take the risk on this particular trade? The answer is yes. Why? Because of the all other confluences that I stacked together and sealing the position, that was one of those ones that even if it could not result to be a profit, then it's one that I could afford. That's the most important about this particular question. You have this part whereby you can add other questions if you want to, and if not, it's still fine. Now there is this crucial part over here where we need to input the screenshot, because the screenshots are very potential, because as I told you, you need to correct the data. You need to see the patterns within yourself. As which behavior do you see within a pair? Which behavior do you see within yourself? As those particular behaviors, as you see them repeating over and over, are the ones that will give you an edge, because you will know exactly over a long time you have a data that gives you a backup that these particular setups, when they occur, they tend to play out. This type of setup, when they occur, they don't tend to play out. And that will come only if you have the memory of your screenshot. So here are the screenshot before. So I'll go back to my pair, okay, and then I'll cut the price action. So from the daily time frame, this is what we previously had, or this is what I was seeing previously, okay. And then if you want to take a screenshot into this particular position or pair, you just click Control, Shift and S at once. So I normally come and paste it. So when I paste it over here, I just click Control then V just to paste it, and then the screenshot is normally uploaded, and I will be writing down the details as what I was looking or anticipating from the daily time frame. Okay, so this is the most important time whereby you need to really focus on to remind yourself what was the thought behind when you are thinking to take this particular position or trade. So I'll write it down over here. And then once you are done, just go to another time frame that you were looking, and then do the same process. So for me, as for now, just for this video, I'll take all the screenshot and then write down all the details, and then I'll be proceeding to explain it to you. As we can see, we've just finished taking down the notes of what we were forecasting, what we were looking exactly, because that's the most important thing that you have to focus on. Now I'm putting now the focus more into taking the screenshot of after, and then there are some post questions that I ask myself, because you need to understand the questions that are putting you into a trade and putting you off the trade. And as well, you need to understand as well the questions which are post trade. If you could have done something slightly different, like a management or whatever it might be, and that is what I'll be doing now exactly. So as you can see, I've just inputted in the screenshot after of this particular trade of Audi USD, which just resulted to be a 2.51%. So if you want to write anything that you could have done better or any other particular lessons, feel free to do that. There's still a space over there that you can do. But more often than not, on my end, what I tend to do is just ask myself post questions, which are this particular question from the checklist. We have over here, would I take this trade over and over again? That's the number one question I ask. And in this scenario, is yes. Okay, did I manage this trade according to my trading plan? In this case, yes. And then this particular last part is the most important one, because here you need to really write down much details as you can, because what you have learned in this particular trade should be explained over here. And as well, if there is anything that you could have done better, you need just to write over here. And this is where most people are missing, because this question is very simple but very important. Is there anything else I would do differently? Even if it was management, even if it was the thought process, even if it was emotional thing, you need to write it down. For instance, for me, I would have written this way. So now into the last part that I want to cover is on how now you can really use your data, because as I told you earlier on, it's a practical way of writing down either your emotions, feeling, or experience in anything. In this example, we have taken it into trading, right? So into trading, on my end, I normally use this data to come up with my trading plan, because most people ask me, how do you come with a solid trading plan? Then journaling process helps you to come up with a trading plan, because if you have collected enough data for at least 6 to 12 months or at least 3 months, you can start see the common patterns, common behaviors within the pairs that you take, within the traits that you take, the management style, your psychology within it, and then refine from there. Because journaling helps you with that, to understand yourself in a bigger and broader picture. And I hope this video really helps you in understanding that. And I want you, by the end of it, to take this practical way of doing the same process, and then give me in the comment sections the result, even if it will be in the next 6 months or 12. But leave your comment over here. How do you find the experience of it? Because when you do this, you have your trading plan. When you do this, you understand your emotion. When you do this, you understand your psychology. When you do this, you understand the edge of your system. So thank you so much for taking your time until this time and watching to this end. And that hasn't been just easy, but rather the values that you have found into this video has brought you this far, and you understand that we always bring things that will provide you with extra clarity. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm taking this opportunity as well to just remind you that don't forget to subscribe, to like and share, and leave us a comment. What was that one aha moment or a clicking part into your brain that made you to really be surprised and enjoyed this particular video? Until next time, God bless.